feel like this is too bright. Is that too dim? Welcome everybody. What's going on? Whoever you are that just logged into my live to request to chat with me, please don't, because I'm not doing it. Don, what's up? Fat Boy Ross, what's going on? Adam Hanyadam Young FYG. Your name is long as fuck. Oh, it's two different people. My bad. Yeah. I'm not taking chat requests from anyone. J Bay Thin, what's going on? I am not taking chat requests from anyone tonight because I have a guest coming on from Seduction Spot. Let me just adjust myself, but what's up everybody? I hope that you are all feeling well. Armstrong Fernando, greetings and welcome. Get Better 2021. Man, your Instagram name couldn't be better. 2021. Yeah, I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that this year will just ride out the rest of the fuckery, and then 2021 will be a much better year, because this year so far has sucked majorly. Majorly. But I hope everyone... Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I try to give you guys a little razzle dazzle. Thank you, Tammy. I appreciate it. You know what's really... Can I tell you something really weird? I know, like, we're not even talking about what we're supposed to be talking about tonight, but I had a lot of hesitations with doing the blonde, and everybody kept saying, like, you know, you can do it, you can do it. I was like, yeah, no, I really can't. But yeah, I'm feeling it. So thank you. I appreciate that. Nook 186, what is guanin? How are you? I hope that you are well. So tonight we have a two-part thing that's happening. So we're announcing the winner of the raffle, which is the do I have the gift pack? I do have the gift pack. So it's 2 adult toys and 2 adult paraphernalia type of things to go with the adult toys. Not lube or condoms or anything like that, like stuff that's actually really good. So we're going to be announcing the winner of the giveaway. Thanks, I appreciate it. And then also we're going to be discussing the topic of this Wet Wednesday is having conversations, sexual conversations, harmful or helpful. So talking about bedroom etiquette, you know, the way that someone's performance is or is not, whether or not you should be having those conversations, and if they can be helpful to your sex life or harmful. So I'm going to be joined, whoever's sending love and hearts, appreciate it. I'm going to be joined this evening by Sophiya, who is the owner of Seduction Spot. She is the sponsor for the giveaway. There's also a coupon code that is, it has a lifetime warranty. There's no expiration. If you're ever looking to purchase any toys or any sort of merchandise from Seduction Spot, it's a 15% off coupon code, and the coupon code is Pum Pum Posse. I will post that in like the feed. I will post it in my stories. I will post it on my page. Yeah, the raffle's all over my page. The raffle's on this page. The raffle's on my podcast page. It's been, I don't know if you're in my stories or if you go to the stories, but it's there. So yeah, hold on one second. Let me see if I can grab it. I didn't really want to. So there's toy number 1, toy number 2, and then, like I said, it's not like it's you know, it's good stuff. So this is the prize pack. Of course, it'll be shipped out to the winner. No toy, what's going on? Everybody else has joined in. Hello. So this is the prize pack that will be shipped out to the winner. So we had, you know, a good amount of entries. They're in this little thingy for me to shake around and pick one, so we'll do that a little bit later. Kenny McCrae, not sure why you're laughing, but I'm glad that you're happy. Mo, what's going on? T-Quest 102, MDU Dante. I hate trying to pronounce people's Instagram names because I feel like I'm forever mashing up somebody's name. That's it. I miss you too, Mo. How is everything with you? I hope that you guys are all well. There's a whole bunch of people that have joined in. I am waiting for Sophiya from the Seduction Spot to join in. Yeah, how is everyone doing? amidst COVID and all that sort of stuff. You know what's really funny? I put up the question. This is going to sound really bad because I can never remember the question. Sexual conversations, are they harmful or helpful? I think that's the title. And the premise of it basically is, do you tell people? Okay, so we always tell people the things that they're really good at with sex and intimacy, but do we talk about the things that are lacking in a person's performance? That's the question. So having sexual conversation, helpful or harmful? M. Dudante, thank you, appreciate it. Okay, Seduction Spot, there you is. Let me request you. My other phone is acting crazy. Sorry, waiting for it to connect with Seduction Spot. So the first thing, once she connects, the first thing that we're going to do is pick the winner for Wonderful You Are Young. Thanks. It's helpful. I told my husband what I liked and what I don't like. You know what? Okay, so I wait for Sophiya to join in, but I'm the person that, like, I've learned over the years that you have to have conversation with people. It's not about ego stroking. It's not about hurting a person's ego, especially if it's your significant other or the person that you're intimate with on a regular basis. You want to have the best sex possible with that person. But if things are not going well and you're not satisfied, or, your needs are not being met, your needs are not being fulfilled, then you're running the risk of having a shitty sex life. Curvy Empress, what's going on? Ed Milson, 1955, what's going on? I don't know. There's somebody that's, when people laugh in the comments and nothing comical has been said, I'm always confused by what that means. For some reason, it's not connecting with Seduction Spot, so I'm requesting the chat again. But Tam.
Hey.
Hi, gorgeous. Hey. Watch the glow up now. Watch out the things that here. Your hair is fabulous.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Can you hear me?
Yes. I think we had the same problem like last time, though. I don't know if we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Okay, just let me know.
Oh yeah, no, that's perfect. Whatever you did, that's perfect.
Cool.
I always say that. I say, like, do that, but then it's like
Yeah, I don't know what happens.
How are you, my darling?
I'm feeling a bit better now. Like, yeah.
Good. Were you able to get some rest?
Yeah, all day I've been resting.
There's some man in the comments that said to me that I am very young and I am very desired. It's so funny because if people actually knew how old I was, I think there's maybe like one person that's in the feed, and that's two people. Tammy and Mo are probably the only people who actually know my true age, because I'm an old lady. I keep telling people this. I don't look it, but I'm old.
No, you look damn good. That's why.
It's the smoke and mirrors. So I was saying to people that we're going to be announcing the raffle this evening. I kind of showed them briefly what the prize pack has. So it's 2 toys, and then as I said, that there's some adult paraphernalia. Because I was trying to say to people that it's not like the paraphernalia isn't like condoms and lube. Like, it's not whack stuff. Like, it's good stuff, Yeah. So we're going to do that announcement, and then we'll post it. I was also letting people know that the coupon code it has a lifetime warranty. There's no expiration date on it. So it doesn't fall off with the end of the contest or the end of the giveaway. Sophiya has been gracious enough to extend it so that at any point in time, if you want to shop with Seduction Spot and purchase toys and get a 15% discount, you can, at the end of your purchases, you type in Pum Pum Posse, PUMPUMPOSSE, something like that. I don't know if it's spelled. But I will post it so that everyone can see. And then that way, like, you know that it's there. And that's something that we'll continually promote. Dora Coleman, greetings. Walton. So do we want to do the draw now and then get into the discussion?
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay. So I cut up little pieces of paper. Try to give it a good shake. I don't want anybody to feel like I'm biased, because I know like some people who have entered, and I don't want people to feel like I'm being biased. So just make sure.
No, of course not.
Okay. See, my eyes are tightly closed. Feeling around, feeling around, feeling around, feeling around, and hold on. Okay, ready? Dun dun
Good luck.
dun. The winner is Calico Blaze.
Oh,
Yay!
congratulations.
So I'm sure she will be quite happy about that.
Yeah.
So I'll make like a little poster flyer, and both Sophia and I will post the winner. So you just have to message me to claim it. I'll get your shipping address and get that sent out to you ASAP. Thank you. And thanks to everyone who joined in for the giveaway. You know, you missed a great opportunity. It didn't cost you anything. You just had to follow the rules, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah. So the conversation tonight, we're talking about sexual conversations, helpful or harmful. And someone that I'm actually familiar with, I've known her for a really long time, she said that she's had conversation with her husband, you know, to let him know what she didn't like and what she liked as well. So before, you know, like I give my spiel and my thoughts and opinions about that, what are your thoughts on having conversations about, you know, what's happening in the bedroom or what's happening with your sexual partner?
I think conversations are definitely needed, definitely good. Conversations are fine. I think what the conversation I was having with you was feedback. If a person can take feedback in the sense of sex is not something that you should be too critical of, but if there's something that you don't like or you do like, I feel like you should voice it. Definitely voice it straight away. I don't know why you wouldn't. If someone's in your hole, you should be able to have that conversation.
This lady said, if somebody are digging at your hole, they should be able. I love that. I love that.
And you know, I feel like with feedback in general, I'm very direct, so I like my feedback direct as well. So it needs to be on like a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being, you know, critical, like 8.5. I need you to, you know, come direct. I don't like you beating around the bush and me having to figure out what exactly you mean. Like, come correct so I know exactly, you know, what you're on about. And I feel like it's more helpful than harmful, because in a situation like that, I don't know if you and the person, like I say, are that intimate, it shouldn't be a thing. You know what I mean? There shouldn't be. And I think maybe tone and how you go about saying things really helps. Because I wouldn't just want somebody to just come at it, you know, in a way where you're going to feel disrespected. Because I think in a situation, in a situation like that where you have sex, you're usually on a high afterwards. You know, you've released some bodily fluids and you're feeling, you know, high. So I wouldn't want to knock someone's ego that much to the point where they feel insecure about themselves. But I don't want to hold back either, because it's wrong. I think sometimes us as people, we want the truth to be told, but yet we kind of shy away from it in the same breath. And that's not helping anybody, because, okay, we say for the first 6 months to a year, you're going to, you know, maybe nice things up and not make them sound a certain way. But then deep into a relationship or a marriage, that's still continuing. And then you're stepping out and complaining to somebody else because you're not getting what you want at home. It don't make no sense.
Right.
So
do you think that age has anything to do with it? So I'll preface it. Hold on, let me just close my window because it's. So the reason I ask about age is because I think about like my much younger self, when I thought I was the goddess of goddesses, and I thought, like, you know what I mean, like my pum pum sprayed out glitter and glitz, and you couldn't tell me nothing about my sex. So when I think about my younger self, if a guy had said to me, or a woman had said to me, or somebody had said to me, you know, I don't really like when you do this. I prefer if you do this. This is really good. I would have taken offense to that. This is my younger self. I would have been offended. But as I am now, and I've matured and seasoned, and I know that I'm a goddess now, and I know that my pum pum shoots out sparkles and sprinkles and glitter dust and all that good stuff, I'm more receptive to conversation about our intimacy, especially if it's somebody that I want to long term be intimate with. Do you think that age plays a factor in any way?
Definitely. And I think what you just said as well about the longevity of the relationship, if you care about the person, maybe your friends to begin with, or you're looking, for something long term, or getting into marriage, that feedback is vital. But as you say about age, how do we learn these things in the first place? Sex don't just come to you. You have to learn it, you know what I mean? So when you're young, yeah, you do feel like I'm the shit, I know my stuff, and you don't want no one to tell you nothing, because literally I was the same. You just have that about you where you don't want no one to say, okay, sex is bad, or you should be doing this, or you should be doing that. But at some point you would have taken talking to you from somebody.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I guess maybe it depends on the person. Like for me, it would be somebody older, or maybe somebody who's more experienced, that you kind of look to in some kind of way, that you think, okay, like I can up my game if I listen to this individual. So yeah, I definitely feel like age plays a factor.
Because I remember when I was about 21, 22,
Yeah.
and the man that I was with at the time, I wanted to have his babies. I wanted to be with him for the rest of my life. Incidentally, he's the father of my children.
Yeah.
But I remember, again, because I was a much younger version of myself, and a less mature and less receptive version of myself. I remember, he said to me, whatever it was that we were doing, he's like, I don't like when you move like that. It throws off my rhythm. And I was like, so instead of hearing that, you know what I did? I just laid there and starfish every time thereafter. I swear to you, I just laid there and starfish every time after we had sex, because I was like, I don't want to move and fuck up his rhythm. Let me just lay here and be still and take cocky.
Yeah.
And for a long time, it took a long time for me to break myself out of that headspace, to know that, sex is different with different people, and different people like different things. And just because one person said to you, I don't like that, lay still, let me do what I'm doing, and just lay back and enjoy it, it doesn't mean that the next person you're going to be intimate with is not going to want you to be an active participant. But I was in my head about that for the longest time, and I couldn't get over it, because what I heard him say to me was, sex is bad with you.
Yeah.
That's not what he said, but that's what I heard, and that's what I internalized. And I internalized that shit for a long fucking time. A long time.
That's where you needed to have the conversation afterwards to clarify, and for him to repeat what you had after the act, because then that would have made a lot more sense.
Because that's all that would have happened. I would have cried.
Yeah. Oh man. And I think maybe it was just that session, maybe not every single time. You know what I mean?
No, it was every single time.
Oh, really? And I feel like women are very in their head anyway. Like we're stuck on things that are said to us, certain emotions. Like you could have said something to us hours ago, and that shit could still be in our heads during sex, and you're just in it, you're just there, and you're not fully enjoying the moment.
Right. And so for me, my responsibility should have been, tell me what you like. Tell me how to help make this better. Tell me how to, or teach me how to find a rhythm with you. And I didn't do that. Right. Like I said, I got in my head about it. I got heavily in my feelings about it. And what I heard was, sex with you isn't good.
Yeah.
As I've gotten older and I've matured and, have different relationships and different relations, I've learned two things about people. People who want to have good sex will listen, and people who want to continue to do the bullshit that they're doing, let their egos get in the way, and they're not trying to hear nothing.
Yeah, that's true.
Because you can't, like someone who is cock strong, someone who is pussy strong, you can't talk to them about their sex, because they've convinced themselves that they're the shit and something is wrong with you. It's not that, it's you.
Definitely. Like I say, it depends on the person. You've got to, I would say, especially where sex is concerned, if something works with one person, don't assume that it's going to automatically work with the next individual, because you really don't know. And sometimes, even if that person initially listened, maybe the first couple times, they might be feeling themselves a bit too much. Maybe the way that your body reacts or the way that they can make you orgasm has put them in a space that just makes them feel like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm about to
It's
fit.
fucking top.
I can't, yeah, it's one of them. But I think as women as well, like we're feeling a certain feel, but men are actually feeling something as well, but we won't understand that. So I feel like it's vital, especially when communicating with each other, that we listen, because we're not feeling the same thing as each other. You know what I mean?
True.
So feedback is definitely necessary. Like I say, it could be harmful in the sense that you're in your headspace, you know, you feel some kind of way afterwards, but it can also be helpful. It leads to better sex. All these things are enhancements. I wouldn't
I
say it's
remember,
a dampener
oh, go ahead.
altogether.
Right. I remember, so it's funny that you're saying, like, you know, you have, like, if you have a person who they're like super cocky about their sex. And I remember all these great experiences in my 20s. So I was maybe about 28, 28,
Yeah.
29. Met this guy. I had just come out of the relationship with the children's dad, and you know, didn't want to be nobody's girlfriend, didn't want to be nobody's wife, looking for somebody to, like, you know, spend time with, have sex with, nothing serious or whatever. And I
Yeah.
met this man, and you know, he told me he's gonna change my life. His dick game is gonna change my life. And girl, I'm not gonna lie to you. The first round, the first round, I didn't know what to do with myself. I wanted to pull my hair. Like it was proper. Like his pussy eating skills and his dick game proper. But the way that he bragged about it after, it was such a turnout that I was like, you know what? You get one time. I promise you that's not happening a second time. You know what I mean? And I basically said to him that the next time around, I'm gonna mash up your head and then I'm not gonna fuck you again. He's like, oh, you can't do that. I miss it. The second time we had sex, oh yeah. I turned him into a stalker. And I did that shit on purpose because I don't like that cockiness. Like, it's okay to feel good about yourself and to know, you know, you did one and two things and, you know, made the things squirt and the orgasms and all that good stuff. But don't come talking to me crazy, because I'll have to shut that shit down and then there's no
No,
more.
no, definitely. I think, I don't know if it's a culture thing or you
Yeah.
just don't want no one to feel like they're badding you up, but you turn a bedroom bully. You think you taught me something, let me teach you something.
You have to flip
I
that
think
on them sometimes. But then again, like that's the ego of it, you know, and it's like if he had regular conversation with me, like maybe we could have, like, you know, continued, but that kind of, like, you know, I don't like that type of chat-ins,
yeah, I
you know.
get that.
Have you ever have you ever tried to have a conversation with somebody that wasn't receptive to the feedback and they took it more as criticism?
Um, only the guy that I dated, and he had anxiety. So, you know, there was some mental there where he just felt like everything was an attack. And that I felt like I was walking on eggshells all the
Right.
time. You know what I mean? I just felt like sometimes when I talk to people, when I've got something to say, like I could be the sweetest person, but when I got something to say, I'm quite strong with how it comes across. And
Right.
no matter how I might have, you know, niced it up, it just always felt like it was a personal attack all the time. And he
Yeah,
would always run crying thing like, please don't leave me. And it just made me just look like, I just felt like I'm not your mom. I'm not your mom, but I feel
right.
I feel bad for you in the same breath, like, you know what I mean? Because I don't know who's gonna deal with you for life, but it ain't me.
Right.
I just felt
And
I
then
just felt like colder and colder towards it because you're not being receptive for somebody who's, you know what I mean? And it took me a while to learn about anxiety and learn how people are and things to say and things not to say. So I had to educate myself in the process, you know. And I tried. I tried.
okay, so let me ask you that then. So does the person having sexual anxiety
Hmm.
cause you to not say what you actually want to say, or does it like teach you how to say it in a more gentle way? Because I feel like if the person, I feel like it could become a situation where you're coddling the person because they're not receptive to hearing anything, and it puts a strain on their ability. So in order to be able to continue to have sex with them where they're comfortable, you have
Yeah.
to compromise your needs or give up some of your needs.
No, 100%. I get what you're saying. I think a conversation's needed. I don't always like to just give up on people. Like I would try and, try and find a way around things. When I talk a couple times, I then start to act like I do what I want to do, you know what I mean, to make myself feel good. But I wouldn't just walk away because I feel like it's damaging if I didn't and just didn't say anything. It's just
Right.
it will be cold. The world's cold enough as it is already. Let me not be cold.
I don't know. You're a better person than me. Like and again, maybe it's because I'm much, I don't have as much patience, and that's definitely like my bad, and that's a me problem. But I feel like, and I know it's unfair, but I feel like people should, by a certain age, you should have certain skill set to some degree, and not necessarily that you're going to know all the tricks and trades, the tricks of the trade, but that at the very least you understand that every woman's body is different. I think by a certain age and a certain amount of sexual experience, you would understand that every woman's body is different. Now, there are some things that are universal, like, playing with the nipples, playing with the clit, massaging the pussy, kissing, but then there's more to it than that, just that. Because every woman's body is different. For me, I feel like at a certain age, if you're treating every woman's body the same, I just can't have patience with that. Especially if I'm like, so for example, perfect example, this guy I used to lick my mouth. And anybody who knows me knows I don't like that shit. And I'm not talking like licking your mouth gently, like while you're kissing or like tongue play. I'm talking about stop, take my head back and lick my mouth. Okay. I'm gonna give you all a minute to process that. Hold my face and lick my mouth. And even licked my nose. Ew. And when I say to you, because you're a certain age and of a certain maturity, when I say to you, I don't like that, please don't do that. I'm okay if we do tongue play while we're kissing. I'm okay to swap spit and all that good jazz, but please don't lick my mouth because I feel like you're like a dog. And we don't join that church. We don't join the church. No time. And he continued to do it.
Wow.
Not because of any sort of sexual satisfaction. His rationale and reason was he just liked to be different. He didn't like to do things the way that other guys did. But I'm like, fam, if the woman doesn't like it, how, please, sir, how are you going to continue to do that?
Yeah. No, I get it. Yeah. I don't know where we got that from, but there's being different and there's being different. That's how it adapted to. There's two kind of different, and you're different ain't making it.
It's not. I'm not joining that church. Like, I don't know where you've seen that. I don't know where they do that at, but we don't do that over here, like at all. No time. No time.
And that's the thing, like people have to learn things. They must have to learn things from some place. So having in your head that all women are gonna like this. Maybe your last woman did, but I don't. Like, you know what I mean? You have to get things straight in your head. If you want this to work, you have to unlearn certain things as well because no.
And you have to be receptive to because I know a very good friend of mine, her man, when she was single, she was used to having sex in a particular type of way, like with whoever she engaged with, because it was easier to say to somebody that you're not necessarily committed to. It was easier for her to just say, like, I like this. This is the way that I like this done. I like more of this. Or even while you're in the act of it, you can say, yes, I like that. Do more of that right there. Yes, please. I like that. Do that. Because she said that there wasn't like that emotional attachment where she felt like she had to be necessarily gentle with the person's feelings. And not to say that she said it like an asshole or anything like that, but it was just easier to say it because there wasn't that emotional tie.
Yeah.
But then with the person that she's with now, because he's one of those individuals that, oh, I know how to please a woman. I've been doing this for, 20, 30 years. You don't need to give me instruction. I know what I'm doing. When she tried to talk to him about what she needed more of and what wasn't working for her, it changed things, and not for the better. It Because he wasn't open to hearing it, and he took it as a knock to his sexual ego. It
Mm-hmm.
caused harm in their relationship.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's difficult in certain situations because I think with men as well, they have to notice a woman's body each time. It might not be it might not react the same every time you have sex. And
True.
sometimes in our day-to-day lives, like a lot can be going on. And if so, and then you got to think about maybe what you know or what you expect from women as well. Because some people, they still have this kind of old school mentality where, they're not expecting women to be so confident and bold with coming out and saying what they want. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So it knocks their confidence. It makes them feel maybe less of a man because maybe their counterparts and their male friends, they've had conversations like that with women, but are not bringing that to their male counterparts. And then they feel like the odd one out and they feel in some kind of way and they just can't get past it.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I don't know. I feel like sadly, there are a group of people who are just not teachable. I've
Yeah.
told this story before, not with you, but I've said this story before, like on my podcast, that
Mhm.
again, when I was in my 20s, I was dating a guy that was from New York. We were together for about 2 years. And I
Yeah.
remember the first time that we had sex and the first time that he went down on me, I told him, I said to him, "You're hurting me." And
Mhm.
his response was, you ready for this? His response
I'm ready.
was, no, I'm not. You're just not relaxed enough. That's why you're not enjoying it. If you would just relax and let me do what I'm doing, you would enjoy
Yeah.
it. And you know what? Again, I just lay there and sort of like tensed up my body and let him do what he was doing. And I didn't
Yeah.
really say much. And, again, it was one of those things where it's like, when someone tells you, when you don't know enough about your body, you don't know enough about yourself, and you're not as sexually confident, and someone tells
Mhm.
you, a man tells you about your own clit, that you're not
Exactly.
relaxed enough, and that's why you're not enjoying it. It can't possibly be because I'm trying to yam off piece of your pum pum. It can't be
Yeah.
because I'm actually hurting you. It's your fault that you're not enjoying sex with me. Is basically what he said. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, just crazy. You know what I mean? And again, it was one of those things where, this was before I was with the children's dad.
Yeah.
And it was one of those things, and it's interesting because now I'm even thinking about with him what he said to me, and me just internalizing that and not, responding and just kind of laying starfish for for the next 10 years and not doing anything. It was one of those things that was internalized to say that, okay, it must be my fault. Sex is not good because it's my fault.
Mhm.
With Sean, the first guy, that's definitely what he told me, that it's your fault that you're not enjoying it. But then with my ex, with him, I'm not even sure what that was. It might have just been an overlap over all of the emotions. Um,
Yeah.
but I do agree that it's definitely important to have conversation with your person, especially if it's your significant other, especially if it's a long-term relationship, especially if it's someone that you have an invested relationship with. Um,
Yeah.
nobody should have to put up with bad or mediocre sex, like not for any reason.
But I was going to put this question to you about a virgin. So, dating a virgin at your age, would it be something that you do? Because they're not going to know that, well, I don't know what they're going to know. Maybe they've seen things. Maybe people just watch stuff and just assume, or they've been told certain things and they assume, or they make it up in their head. Sometimes we don't get certain things from anywhere. But me personally, I couldn't do it. I don't want somebody that's not had sex. I like someone that knows what they're doing.
You know, because I have an ego, and because I'm honestly, I'm going to talk it straight. Because I have an ego, I would, because I would want to know, and this is totally mental, I would want to know that I taught them so that the first woman that they have outside of me, she goes like, oh my God, what the hell? Like, yeah. And again, it's just because I'm an old lady, because I'm an old dirty lady. If
What
you
if
had
you
asked
were,
me this, no, seriously, if
yeah,
you had asked me this when I was in my 30s, I would have been like, no, I'm good. I'll pass on that. I want someone who's more experienced. But because I'm
yeah.
a much, much older lady, much couple decades older, um, yeah, I would because I like the idea of having someone that is more submissive to me. It appeals to the dom in me. I like the idea of being able to train someone. I do.
And that's assuming that they're willing to learn and they're not stubborn.
That's absolutely but you know what? I feel like with that, because they don't know anything, I could definitely set the tone to say, listen here, listen and listen good. If we're going to do this, and in order for me to be happy and to continue doing this, you need to listen. And if you feel like you can't listen, and if you feel like you're going to get offended, let me know from now so I don't waste my good pussy on this event, please.
That just sounds like a lot of hard work to me.
Man, I ain't got
Personally,
nothing but time at this point in my life. Like, there's nothing I'm doing right now. I got time. I got time. You know why too? Because I'm not necessarily looking to settle down. Like, I'm in a phase of my life now where I'm enjoying having fun. So I think if I was in a headspace of looking to settle down with somebody, then maybe. But yeah, I'm right now in my life, I'm about having fun. And I
okay.
like this Wu-Tang, love the kids. Oh dear. Fresh nails. Thank you, DJ Cash Bill. Appreciate it. But yeah, I would train up a virgin. I would train up a virgin still. It's
No, I
funny
mean,
that you say that because I remember, again, all these crazy stories. In my early 30s, I slept with this young man. And it was just the weirdest thing because I didn't want to, because I knew that there was such a big age difference between us. I think it was like a 16-year age difference, like
oh yeah,
huge. And it wasn't until, and when I say this young man had a piece of cocky upon him, like, honestly, it was just the craziest thing. Like, he was a great lover. And it
yeah.
wasn't until maybe 3 years later, long after we stopped fucking, we were still friends and we would talk from time to time. It wasn't until almost 3 years later that he confessed to me that he was a virgin.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Have you
and I
been
was like,
saying?
first of all, you're trying to make me go to jail. I know you're legal, but you're like just over legal. You're trying to put
Yeah.
me in jail first and foremost. And then when I thought back to the experience and the experiences that we had after that, I was like, Greta, how are you a virgin? Like, I didn't have to teach him. Like, I didn't have to teach him hardly nothing. Like, he listened, he paid attention to the cues. Like, he listened when I was like, if I was moaning and I was like about to come, I'm like, don't move. Like, he would stay there. Like, he paid attention. Like,
No,
that's
I
it.
hear that. I do feel like younger guys do listen though, because it's almost like they've got a point to prove more than older guys. But I feel older guys are more romantic. So I do.
Okay, so if you had to, I know we're totally straying off topic. If you had to choose right now for where you are and for whatever it is that you're looking for in your personal life, do you feel like you would choose more romance over sex or more sex over romance?
Probably romance, because
Ooh,
I haven't had that kind of experience. Like the sex has been there, sex has been great, but having that romance and maturity, like
yes.
the certain things, you have one life, so I feel like you should be able to experience what you want to experience. And romance is something that, yeah, I think certain things just I would like to experience those things.
Okay. So you had asked a question in your stories. If the sex is bad, whose fault is it? Yours or the other person? I said the other person just because
So
I'm
much,
not.
so much than the other person. I was like,
Yes.
I would say, okay, I get where people would say the other person because you believe in your sex game, sex game is, the truth. But would you not question and think, was there something that I done to make this session
No.
kind of bad? You know,
No,
like
absolutely no.
in a
But
long
it's really good because as we're having this conversation, I'm like, okay, so because no one's ever told me that sex is bad, does that mean that there are people walking around there out there who thinks like my sex is trash and they just never said anything?
But that's the thing. I would rather someone come like say it to me than say it behind my back and be walking and chatting me. You know what I
No.
mean?
No, if they say it to me, I'm gonna cry, and I'm not in the business of crying for nobody about my pom pom. So let me just not know. Yeah, just walk behind my. And the thing is, like I can't think that I've ever had sex with somebody that didn't want to come back for more. That I had to tell
Yeah.
them no. There is when the house that I live in, there was a man that was across the street, and again, I have all these stories from like 500 years ago. So he Miss Pat Box said that your sex is only as good as your partner. Girl, you're a whole lie. That is not true. You can be the most fantastic sex partner ever, and the other person may just not be about it. Okay, so I'll tell the other story about the man across the street. So for example, I
Yeah.
know a woman who she has one position. She has two positions, and that's
Mhm.
all she'll do. Starfish, and when she's ready to make him nut, buckas. That's it.
Okay.
She doesn't suck dick.
Mm-hmm.
She likes to have her pussy eaten, but
Okay.
her mainstays are starfish and then backshot, doggy style. That's it. She won't ride. She won't do side scissors. She won't stand up and take it. She won't. You know what I mean? Like the fun things that like off the edge of the bed, like all that kind of sitting on a
Yeah.
chair. All that. She doesn't want to do any of that stuff. She wants to be on the bed. It has to be in the bedroom. So no kitchen counter, no couch, no backseat of the car, no spontaneous impromptu. She wants to be in a bed, and it's one of two positions. That's it. That sex cannot be as good as the partner. Because if I'm a man and I want to fling you all about our place, especially like how the kids aren't home and nobody did it, you know what I mean? Turn up the music. And if I want to bust out your back over the kitchen counter and you say no to, babe, can we just go to the bed so you can lay down? I'm not
Mm-hmm.
here for any of that. That's no.
Well,
Hold
you
on a
know,
second.
you
What you said? I feel off the other person's energy. If they are lazy that day, I am too. But you can't have two lazy people in a bed. That doesn't make sense. Then nothing's going to be accomplished.
know what? I get that because in my younger days, I definitely used to match energy. Like, if we're not going to do it, we're just not going to do anything. And then we would have that conversation, like, what's up? Like, what's going on? What do we need to do? Do we need to get some roots in your system, some steamed fish? Like, talk to me.
The steamed fish and okra. Yes.
Right. So I definitely get that with the matching energy because yeah, you feel it's a transmission of energy in any case. So you do kind of
Right.
feel some kind of way. And it's like what you said, where you're given information or you heard a certain thing and your body, you just naturally reacted in that kind of way. That's matching the energy in some sort of sense. But with that woman, I bet you there's men that went back for seconds. I guarantee you with them two positions.
But hold
And
on. Well, because even in talking to her, she said like some of them would come back, but she said like she never felt like they were coming back because they were excited about having sex with her. She felt like it was kind of like there were
a
no
hole's a
other
hole.
options, so they can't. Right.
A
And then
hole
she
is a
said
hole.
some people just never came back. Like, and really and truly, and not to be disrespectful to any man's penis, but some men, their cocky don't have shame. And I say that to say there are some men that will jump in pum pum just so they don't have to masturbate. So they're using, you understand what I'm saying? They're using your body to nut instead of having to stroke off themselves. They don't
You
care
just
if
want
you
a warm
come.
place.
Right.
That's
They
wet.
don't care if you have an orgasm. They know that you're gonna lay there and take it.
Mm. But this is where us as women need to have those conversations. We need to be like, no, I know from the time you kind of sense or feel like it is what it is, because you're allowing it at the end of the day. If you've allowed somebody, to maybe come back into a situation, you can't complain. You can't be walking and telling your friends, this is how we stay, this, that, and whatever, because you've allowed it. You're just as bad in those kind of situations. And this is what I say to people. You allow certain behaviors to continue. You know what I mean? And the thing is, if you've let it happen 5 times and you felt that kind of way from the second time, and then you tell him on the 5th time and he's not receptive, it's because you've allowed it too many times. So he's like, I don't see what the problem is. If you felt this way from the get-go, should have told me. So this is why my mouth always open. Like I'm quick to say what I need to say, because we're not going to continue. Because I know how I would feel if someone waited some time to tell me something. Like, tell me, even if I'm hurt, even if I bawl eye water, like I respect you a lot more if you tell me. Right. But I don't know.
Like I said, you're good. I can't deal with that level of embarrassment. Like, if I cry because you've told me something like that hurts my feelings, I'd have to like you. I'd have to like you a whole lot to come back and be like, okay, how do we make this better? How do we fix this? Can I get that word, please?
I think practicing towards a relationship with longevity. Like, if you're in something with someone, imagine those people that wait until marriage, and like how we were talking the last time. Like, how do you get all these hurdles? You have to, you have to have those levels of communication and back down sometimes and think, okay, you've made me feel some kind of way, but I have to, like, we have to move in a certain way to, you know what I mean? I don't know. I feel like the way
I spend the next 15, 20 years having mediocre or like below average sex and being miserable and unhappy. And like you said, getting to the point where you may step outside of your relationship to have your needs fulfilled because this person isn't meeting them.
Yeah. And it's like, even with the embarrassment, it would only be between you two. Like, it shouldn't be with anybody else. If he comes and tells you this, and I feel like this should be the case. Because even I put up a poll about adult toys, and some people said they don't use them because, one, they're beginners, and two, how people would, receive them. Like, they don't want people being in their business. But who would know? Nobody should be able to know these things. You should be able to be with someone that ain't gonna chat. And if the chat, so what? Like, look what year we're in. Just move with the times. You have one life, so I don't see why you're gonna just have, like you say, have mediocre sex. This is why I couldn't be with no virgin. Like, I don't want to waste years teaching nobody nothing. I just want to get on with it.
Right. And yeah, that absolutely makes sense. And it's interesting that you say that, because, like, I mean, just on a totally different scale, when you look at situations where somebody who has a lot of experience has chosen to marry a virgin, because let's say it's a man that has chosen a woman who's a virgin because he wants to know that he's the first one to jump into pom-pom. He's not considering the fact that she's not going to know anything. And it doesn't just come automatically. It doesn't just come naturally. It's not like a switch that you flip on in the back of her head where she knows how to automatically ride dick, or she knows how to suck dick, or she knows how to take dick even, There comes with that comes a level of responsibility to train the person, to educate the person, and to help the person.
Yeah. I mean, look at that guy that you mentioned that said, oh, your body's too tense, it's your fault. Imagine he married a virgin. That wouldn't work.
You know what, though? She probably would have thought that that's just the way that it's supposed to be, because what would she have to compare it to? She would, and the craziest thing, oh God, I feel so triggered. For years after him, I would not allow anyone to go down on me just because of the thought that it was going to hurt.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That's
like, I couldn't do it. But now it's like, I think in my most recent sexual dating experiences, a man that I was seeing quite regularly, mostly for like sexual interactions. The first time he went down on me, it was great. The second time he went down on me, it was like he's trying to take a piece of my pum pum with like shit, and that it hurt. And he's like, oh, I just love it so much. I just love it. I just, I want to. When he said to me something like, I just want to gnaw it off, I was like, hi, sir, beg your stop right now. And I literally pushed his head away, because I'm thinking, I'm not able to kill you in this room because you've decided that you want to do something like chew on my front. Are you dumb? And so I'm telling you, Sophiya, for about 6 months, I would not let this man go down on me. Because I'm like, you don't know how to be gentle, and it hurts. That's a very sensitive part of our body. Like, as much as pum pum can take some beating and some butter in, that's the whole, that's the inside. Your labia it's especially the smaller lips, man, those are sensitive. What are you doing? What are you doing?
Yeah, I don't know where certain
Dora Box said she's kicked someone in the head for that. I love her. I don't know who you are, but I love you. Trust me. Yeah, you'd have to get a fist in your head back. Like, not lie, a fist in your head back. Because that's crazy. Like, you can't think about it this way for men. When you're getting head, if a woman puts too much teeth on your dick, you're going to be upset, right? Why would
Oh
you
my,
then think it's okay for you to use your teeth and not on a woman's vagina? Hello. Where does that
yeah.
happen?
I don't know where are they learning these things and continuing walking with the, walking with these things like it's something good. I don't know. And this is what I mean. It's vital to have these conversations, because what if they've had sex with someone previously and they've not said anything and they just feel like it's great. This is what I'm saying. Get to know yourself and just voice how you're feeling, because feedback can be positive. If it stops a next woman or a man from feeling some kind of way,
True.
do it. I'm all for it. I'm
Very
all
true.
for feedback.
And you know what? I've never actually thought about it in that way, but you're absolutely right. Like those teaching experiences don't necessarily have to
Yeah.
be about you. If you can, especially if you're no longer with the person, but if the teaching experience or the teaching moment can help them have better experiences once they've moved past your relationship, that's a win also. For a woman, knowing that another woman is not going to have to suffer the way that you suffered, that's a win. That's definitely a positive thing. I've never thought about it like that.
No,
You see?
100%. 100%, because like I say, it can be harmful depending on like your situation, what you said previously about the person not being receptive. But for the most part, sexual feedback I can only see as being helpful. You know what I
Yes.
mean? If somebody told me something, even if I felt some kind of way to begin with, it will be in my mind to think, you know what, how can I work on this thing? Or how can, you know what I mean? You want to be better for the next person. You want to be the best version of yourself always.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think that, just even with intimate experiences, why would you want to have bad sex? The point is to have good sex. The point is to have
yeah.
enjoyable sex. The point is to have, orgasms. The point is to have the person, come back again to enjoy that experience with you. And if you are not listening, if you're not taking the cues, if you're not taking the feedback, then you're really
Mhm.
not interested. I wouldn't think that you're that invested in having good sex. You know, and it's not just about your pleasure and your need. If you're doing it because you think that it's just about your pleasure and your need, yeah, you're doing it for the wrong reasons.
But
Man,
that's the
for
thing. I
sure.
think you'd be able to tell those individuals, like you said, that just want a warm spot. Like they're not really into it, Like I say, different strokes for different folks.
Right.
Really, really, like sometimes as well when you're having bad sex or you're just not into it as much, you're being a bit lazy, and the
Yes.
other person maybe can either pick up on it or maybe feel some kind of way and doesn't say anything. And sometimes when it's like that in the back of my head, I'm like, why are you not talking? Why have you not said anything? Like, you know what I mean? I want you
Yeah.
to,
To
to
engage,
be
to
a
be
bit more
actively engaged.
forthcoming.
Yeah. Yeah. Huh, okay. So,
Yeah.
um, I don't know if there's anything else. Time is winding down. We have about 8 minutes
Okay.
before we close off. I don't know if there is anything else that you wanted to give in terms of words of wisdom about conversation in the sexual conversation. Is it helpful or harmful? I know that for sure you're an advocate of saying that it is helpful, and it
Yeah.
shouldn't be harmful, and to take your ego out of the conversation because it's not about that.
Yeah. I think in the poll that I done as well on the IG story, most people, I haven't checked it recently, but most people said that it was helpful. Um, I think this is something that we want, but you can't ask someone to give you feedback either. I just feel that's a bit cringy. Like, you know what I mean? Like when someone says, "Oh, how did I do?" That kind of question is like when you're a teenager, like back in your 20s. Now, like you say, you
Yes.
just feel like you come with that sexual confidence. And sometimes you kind of think, are you ready for the truth? Like, with certain individuals, do you want me to break it down
Right.
for you? Because I'm very analytical at times.
Right.
I think that tone definitely plays a vital part in how you say things to somebody. You have to watch your tone. You don't want to make the person cry. You don't want to get slapped up, but you want to improve things for the better.
I feel like if I have sex with somebody and they say to me after, like, how was it? Did you enjoy it? I'd be like, this is not the time. Like, can we
I
talk about
always
this
say,
later?
what do you think? I throw the ball back in their court. What do you think?
Good.
Like, how
That
did my body act? Like, you tell me. I want to know what you know now.
Are you not paying attention? Or when somebody says, "Oh, did you come?" How? What? Were you not in the room with me when I was bawling off your head and screaming your name? Like, where were you when that was happening? Did you have an outer body experience? What do you mean, did I come?
No, I definitely understand with that. I
Marriage
don't
Makes
know.
Three. Marriage Makes Three made a very good point. No shaming, but sharing, and that's the importance of conversation. You know, again, I don't think it necessarily applies to somebody that you're just like fucking for sport. Like, you know what I mean? I think it more so applies to like if you have a vested interest in someone, if there's some level of emotional connection, and because you want the intimacy to be better, then definitely you have conversation with that person. But then on the other
Yeah.
end of it, that person also has to be receptive to hearing what you
100%.
say, with the understanding that not everybody's body, male or female, is the same, and different people like different things.
Yes, and this is what I always say, if you get to know yourself, you can actually show the person as well. It doesn't have to always be vocal. You can introduce things to the bedroom. You can do soft, subtle touches, even conversate at a later stage. It doesn't have to be straight after sex. It can be, I don't know, maybe not when you eat and don't put me off my food, but maybe when you're sitting down to watch a program or something,
Right.
yeah, have that
And
conversation.
that's why we advocate for toys and sexual paraphernalia. Get to know your bodies. You know, there are dildos, there are vibrators for men, there are strokers, there's all different kinds of apparatus and adult toys that you can experience self-pleasure using, so that you're able to better teach somebody about what you like and how your body reacts and responds. So Sophiya's company, Seduction Spot, has a lot of adult paraphernalia and adult toys. There are some educational things, like there are games and dice and things that you can try together, and then there are things that are self-satisfying that you can do solo, and then things that you can use in a couple. And if you shop at Seduction Spot, you can use my coupon code. It has a lifetime warranty. It doesn't expire. You get 15% off any of your purchases, and that coupon code is Pum Pum Posse, which I will post. Sophiya, you're so awesome.
Yeah.
I feel bad because I know I'm keeping you up late at night because it's like 1:30 in the morning where you are. But
Yeah.
I feel like we need to do this like at least once a month or something. Just kind of like
one of my friends on the previous one was like, you should be on a podcast. It was so relaxing to watch the previous live that we done, because the vibe was just great. And he don't watch things. He's not easily impressed. So
you see, we need to talk about doing something regular, something more regular. But
thank you.
I wanted to thank you for the awesome gift pack that we are going to be giving away. Again, 2 adult toys and some adult paraphernalia. I'm going to show it quickly so no one gets distracted with what it is. But this was sponsored. Our giveaway was sponsored by you, and I appreciate that so much. And of course, again, the winner of the giveaway pack is Calico Blaze.
Congratulations.
So we'll post about that. But I wanted to thank you so much, one, for staying up late, because I know that you weren't feeling well today. I appreciate you so very much. So
you know me, I still keep it moving.
Yes.
That's right. I won't be able to now.
So your website is www.seductionspot, all one word, .co.uk. I will also post that as well, so you guys know where to go and to get the link to get to Sophiya's website. There's all kinds of stuff. When I tell you there's something for everybody, there's something for everybody.
I've tried to be inclusive as possible.
Listen to me. You got all the gadgets and gizmos. Like Ariel, I've got gizmos and gadgets aplenty. I've got who's its and what's its galore. Seduction Spot. The song, right? That song right there.
Thank you.
So this has been Wednesday. We're going to be signing off shortly. It's going to be doing the countdown. So I thank everyone who's there. Unfortunately, didn't get to read all the comments, but for everybody who commented, everyone who actively participated, anyone who shared any sort of information or asked a question, we appreciate you. We're sorry we didn't get to answer or respond to everyone. Hope that you enjoyed the discussion. I'll be back next week, Wednesday. I don't know if Sophia's going to come back. She might want to come back. Maybe. We'll see how that goes.
I will come back again soon.
But in the meantime, in between time, y'all stay COVID free, stay safe, love up on each other, and love up on yourselves. And yeah, we'll talk to you guys later. Thank you.
Okay. No problem. Take care.